Hi guys. Due to COVID-19 and in keeping up with social distancing, Erica and I unfortunately cannot shoot together until this virus has been um, contained and it is okay for us to be around other people. So because we want to still engage with you guys, we've decided to do mini diaries, which we've entitled Bitch You a Blunt Diaries. And so this will be our first diary. Um, in thinking through what that means and what I would like to share, and this is something that we're going to be doing individually, I thought, what part of myself have I discovered um, and in some cases worked through that I would like to share with you guys? And what kept coming to mind and the feeling that I had was a sense of freedom, or the word freedom, or just being free in general. And yes, we are restricted to our homes and we're unable to kind of move about freely like we would like to, but that's not what I'm talking about. I wanted to go a little deeper. So let's backtrack a little. I was on my Facebook account just browsing through my old pictures, and the girl I saw in those pictures was very intriguing to me. Yes, I'm talking about myself. The person that I was then and who I am now, I felt a little bit disconnected from that person. And rightly so. I mean, I have matured. I have different circumstances now in my life. I am now a married woman. So a lot of who I was then cannot exist in who I am now. With that understanding, there was a sense of freedom about that girl that I would like to exhibit now, that I would like to embody and embrace now. And I thought to myself, why do you think you're not that girl anymore? That free spirited girl? Why is there a disconnect between the you then and the you now and the me now? And if you have seen our episodes that we've been putting out, there are times during those episodes that I've talked about my journey and the path that I'm traveling. And a lot of it has been self-awareness and self-improvement. And the adult me now had to process that feeling instead of just saying, it's just something I felt, let it go, whatever. I really felt the need to dig deeper. And so in digging deeper, I came up with 4 things that maybe restricted me or have restricted me in becoming more free. And the first thing I thought of was the fear of being who I envision myself to be. What does that mean? I have these self-limiting thoughts that even just sitting here and doing this video without Erica being next to me is a step forward for me, because I've always kind of felt like I couldn't do this by myself. I couldn't sit here and just kind of engage an audience on a topic, engage them in in ways that I've been able to do with Erica. So that in itself is a sense of freedom to be able to get to a place where I am allow myself to create without this fear of not doing it the right way. The other thought that came to mind was perception. What could come out of me posting something. Maybe somebody might not like it, people might not be interested, people might think whatever it is that people's thought might be, I let that be a reason not to push forward with whatever it is that I wanted to do. And fear, fear is I let fear take over my ability to be creative. And being creative is a sense of release for me. It's something that I take pride in. So to feel like I can't do something if somebody else is not next to me, because, it is easier to have somebody work with. It's been great doing stuff with Erica because we're able to bounce ideas off each other. We're able to engage each other in a way that me sitting here in front of you can't do, or at least I thought. And when I had that thought with the girl I used to be and who I am now, in order to get to that space again, I need to allow myself to let go of these self-limiting beliefs that I cannot do this, I cannot do that, I'm incapable of this and that and whatnot. So that's something that unfortunately and fortunately I have to learn to work through. The third thing I thought was, and on my journey to become more free and to align with self-awareness and self-improvement, I also have to think about my traumas in my past that has contributed to me not trusting myself in different spaces, right? And not even that, the traumas that have allowed me to be, that I have allowed to block me from being free. Emotional intelligence is key, right? I think in align with what I've said about perception and pushing through self-limiting beliefs, I need to learn emotional intelligence, which means learning how to control my emotions and being able to express myself in a way that communicates effectively with people. My previous behavior would be if I was upset about something, I exploded. I didn't care if I hurt people with my words. I did not care how I came off to people, because it was better for me to feel free of those emotions than to hold them in or learn a mature way to release it. So I exploded and left casualties and didn't care about the consequences of that. And learning to navigate through that is also a sense of freedom for me. Learning to communicate, and also just being with my husband, I had no choice but to learn how to communicate effectively and to have that emotional intelligence to be able to step back if I need to be able to kind of assess the situation myself and my emotions, and um, learning to be able to express in a way that led to a more productive outcome. So that's also been part of my journey, learning to be a better functioning human being in society, to say the least. And I go for runs, and during my run, one of these days when I went for a run, there's a river that flows under a bridge. And a funny thing is, like, when I ran past it, I just looked over quickly, glanced at the water. Um, I had almost like an epiphany, right? Um, if you look at a stream or a river, there is rocks and stones, branches, trash, whatever it is people might throw in there. The point is that the water still flows. It flows to wherever it's going. There's things that are in its way, but it learns to maneuver around it, whether it goes around it, under it, over it. You learn to kind of deal with these challenges that's thrown in your way. And I thought, be more like the river. Like, let things just flow how it may, and deal with it. Learn to, like, get over things quickly. Learn to understand things in a way that helps you move forward. So that's something that I picked up during my run, and I have been practicing that and using it to my advantage. I'm not a particularly religious person, overly religious, but I do believe in a higher power. And I've come to believe that your purpose and my journey is to eventually get me to my purpose. I don't know what that is yet. That's something that I'm working on trying to figure out. But I also believe that God would not place these challenges in your life knowing you can't overcome it. And the girl that I was in the past, this sense of freedom that I had challenges back then, but I was still able to exude that freedom, that sense of freedom that I saw in that picture. And there's no reason why I can't do that now. And to kind of bridge that gap between who that girl was and who I am as a woman now is to be able to kind of work through these different things that I spoke about. So coming to that realization has been fun for me. I think it's always exciting for me when I'm able to kind of push through something that I don't necessarily understand, and figuring out how to become a better version of myself is always a goal. So yeah, those are kind of some of the thoughts that went through my mind when I thought of being free. So let me know what your sense of freedom is, what that means to you, what that looks like, how that has manifested itself in your life, whether it's in the past or now, and what things have you put in place to get you to continue to be a better version of yourself. But yeah, that's kind of like what I've been processing, and with all the time that I have with COVID, you can't help but self-reflect. So leave a comment and let me know what you feel freedom is to you. Thanks, guys.